Ronin Project presents Real Talk with Jesse Purcell and David McGee. Episode 1, In the Beginning. This podcast contains explicit content not suitable for listeners under the age of 18. Parental discretion is advised. Hello, everyone, and today I'm joined by Jesse Purcell and David McGee with Ronin Project. We're going to be discussing the organization's origins and its future. So thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's jump in here. Jesse, I'm going to start with you, and then David, I'm going to switch to you, so we're going to go back and forth on this. Tell Jesse, what is Ronin Project?
So, the Ronin Project is a vision of community, right? Of just people getting back to interacting with each other on a human level and not allowing just all the negativity, whether it's negativity in the world around them or some negative experience that they went through, for allowing those things to stop them from being human, you know what I mean? And interacting with human beings as such, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've all been hurt. We've all been through things. We've all been afraid, right? But when did we start letting this stop us from having community? Really,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's
David,
what the project is for me.
David, what are your thoughts on that? Is it community for you as well?
Definitely community for me. I see it much more uh, like personally in the sense of Jesse, like him being the creator in the sense that it's almost like he had to self rehabilitate because he found out when he was incarcerated they really weren't about rehabilitation or mental or physical health, and he realized he had to do it himself. And in doing that, he understood the importance of it and how it could benefit the community and people in general. That's how I see it.
That's a great answer. Building on community and realizing your part in it and being a leader and bringing other people on with you. Jesse, that takes me to my next question. Like, what brought this to life? Like, what made this idea become real for you?
Honestly, just dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction in everything. And not only do I mean like just on like a physical or mental or an emotional level, just me personally, I was dissatisfied in my life, and everything that I tried to do, I felt like I was going nowhere with it, right? Like I got this saying I say all the time, I felt like my life has been inside a hurricane and I'm fighting against it, right? Now, it's like I couldn't, what it's like to, can you imagine fighting a hurricane? I can't be the only one that feels like that. Right. I can't be the only one that feels like I'm fighting up here and I'm going nowhere. It means nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just kept on since I got out. I've had, a couple of jobs and doing things that I love doing, working with dogs. I love training dogs, and I love teaching people how to train their dogs and just helping them understand how to communicate effectively with this different creature, right? And it kind of clicked for me right there. Is maybe we all like this because we just ain't really learned how to say it.
Yeah.
Or nobody said it right or said it loud enough.
Right.
So I started talking to Jennifer about it, and I was telling her about the whole idea, and a lot of them were just business ideas where I wanted to put together, different things. I wanted to do things to, make my life better. And then I was focused, for most people, focus mostly on myself. But I, kind of clicked that I wouldn't really be happy with that either. I'm still not dissatisfied. I'm still gonna be dissatisfied, even if I got my life together. Because what am I getting together for? Where am I going with it?
Right.
Like, I can be successful and I can have all this money and I can have nice houses and all the women in the world and I can do all of these things. I can go travel. I can have all of these. That's the epitome of life now. Once I get those things, what am I getting it for? As human beings,
Right.
we used to work collectively to better society, and it's only recently that it's became individualized. We don't work together no more. It's me, I. Societies, why is there ever a woman who has nowhere to go while she's getting beaten? Why is there ever a hungry kid or a veteran who can't cope mentally after going to war, homeless on the street? With
Right.
the wealth of our society. So,
So,
everybody always said, if you don't like how things are, do something about it. So, trying to do something about it.
so your dissatisfaction spurred this on. And David, where does this resonate with you? Were you finding that you were dissatisfied with programs or systems you were part of?
I kind of understood the whole do for self and each one teach one a long time ago because I just had so much distrust and didn't believe in organizations in general.
So basically, this is more than just this big idea with these, concepts that won't reach anybody. You guys are looking for person-to-person connection, really building relationships. David, I'll start with you on this. You and Jesse, from my understanding, your relationship is about that person-to-person connection, right? You are a
Yes.
lifeline for him in that way. So explain to me, when it comes to Ronin Project, what about y'all's bond in that, or would you want to replicate in this project?
Jesse is my family. I mean, Jesse is my son. So if anything, maybe to be able to show people that it doesn't have to be about blood, that it can be about connection and relationships that can really bond you and help you through life. Because our connection is, I mean, I can't describe it any better than, I mean, we family. So personally, and beyond the Ronin Project, even because this is so important to him, so I'm gonna do whatever he wants. But he my family, so I'm with him regardless. Ronin
That's amazing.
project, whatever he want to do, I'm riding with him.
Yeah, and Jesse, I'll throw that back to you. I mean,
Love, man.
you hear this gentleman who talks about you being his family. Like I said, from what I understand your relationship, he was a lifeline for you when there weren't other lifelines there. So explain to me, when it comes to Ronin Project, how are you extending this lifeline to other people? What are you bringing to this organization that's going to be beyond just the name, just a resource place, but those bonds, that family? Like, tell me about that.
So I guess the best way I can do that is to use a couple of examples from interactions that I've had with David throughout my life. From the very first interaction where he literally handed the contract my mother had to sign for him as my behavioral specialist and asked me if I understood, right? So this is, and his honesty, right? His honesty, like how real he was for me with the very beginning, is what made me respect him, right? Because everything he had heard and everything he had learned about me, everything in my file, had told him I was this badass kid that liked to throw tantrums.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He didn't know what my personal life was. He didn't know what I was going through. And he didn't really think that I was going through some of the things that I was going through because I'm in, a rural city in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he's from the south side of Chicago. So he handed me the contract and he's like, you know what this means, right? It means your mom gave me permission to fuck you up. Those exact words.
That'd be scary. I mean, like, this dude
No,
coming in here.
no, because how I
Was
was
it?
living, I by the time I met David, I had seen real scary.
Yeah.
No, no, I wasn't scared. What I was impressed. I was actually in awe of him. I was like, man, this is a man that he just commands respect when he walks in. Right, he don't got to rush for nobody. He's just honest. Like he's the first person as an adult who sat down and was like, look, man, I'll kick your ass.
Right.
And kept it real with me. So for me, that was like, I respect him already. Right. So at Ronin Project, that's one thing, that connection that I learned from him, I carried with him forever, is like, man, if you just go to people and you like, look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. You might not like it, but I'm gonna be real with you. Right. But I'm here to help you.
Mentioned before, learning to speak the language, right? Being able to
Exactly.
connect with people where they hear you and see you. It's not just platitudes and, it's one step at a time and all this stuff. Like they hear you where your heart was. And so you heard his heart in that. And that's why there was a fear.
But then it goes deeper, right? Because at the time he was real with me and didn't even know me. Right.
Yeah.
But then after he got to know me and the respect became mutual, my daughter was born. He was there. My father committed suicide. He was there.
But it became way beyond work real fast. Like
Right.
it wasn't just work anymore. It wasn't just, oh, I'll see you as a behavioral specialist in school. Once I understood how he was living, it was, that's how the whole family aspect started. You know, like he over at the house now.
And more
He
important,
he meet my family. Like we family. Like it's that happened pretty quickly.
and one thing that David gave me that nobody else in any organization. You got to think, I lived most of my life homeless and in the streets, so I done met people from social services. I done met social workers. I've met therapists. I've met doctors. Whatever, right? Everything the government throws at you, right? But there's one thing that David did that nobody else did. I'm talking to everybody in every outreach program. He did something that nobody else did. He didn't try to change me. All he did was give me love and strength. He didn't try to tell me, like when he found out that I was in the street gang banging and stuff like that, and he see the bandanas and he knowing. Like he knew I was out there messing around with guns and things like that. He knew these things. He asked me about them and I told him. He didn't try to change me. He tried to give me advice. Right? He tried to guide me. And he loved me anyway. Right? And that's the thing. How can you approach somebody that needs help? A lot of times people that need help, they're angry.
Right.
So I learned that from him. Like, you can't approach people needing help like, yo, I'm gonna help you change your life.
You got to meet the people on at where they at, right? You got to
Exactly.
love them for where they at, and you can try, but you can't like beat them over the head. Cause just think of how much uh, when you were incarcerated, you'd be like, man, I understood now when you said this. I
Yeah.
understood now when you said that. And
Right.
all
Oh
kind of
yeah.
now all kind of
We
stuff came. It
we had those
became
conversations.
yeah. He
Yeah.
understood it all then. But I mean, at that time, the way he was living, all I could do was love him. And actually, probably why I tried to keep him closer to at the house because I know if he was around me or my family, but I also knew how he was living. So what can you do? I mean,
You
that's
know,
how.
it's funny. It's funny. I don't know if you remember. You remember when you offered you wanted to take me with you and Beth and the kids to Chicago for the summer.
Yeah,
I'm in Waynesboro, Virginia. He told my mom, he said, look, why don't you let me take him with me to the shop for the summer? I feel like he'll be safer. By the end of that very summer, I've been shot at so many times. I I didn't watch people, some dudes I was kicking it with home. My girlfriend got shot. Right. I probably would have been better off with him in Chicago. I probably would have been safer.
So it sounds like at the heart of Ronin Project, it's about building connection. It's about meeting people where they are, and it's about not trying to convince them of anything, right? It's letting them come to it in an organic way, right?
Yeah, most people who are unhappy, right, or most people who are angry, they know that they got to do something different, right? They know something different has to happen. The problem is when they go to do something different, they're met with red tape, or they're met with disdain, or you know, somebody refusing to see them as human. They just another number.
So what makes the Ronin Project unique in a way to where it can provide that human touch where people think it's lost, right? Where you can show hope more than just lip service, right? That you're actually doing the thing and showing these people a new way.
All right, the way I see it is through Jesse's experience and the way that he had to basically kind of find ways to kind of create a therapy for himself when he was incarcerated, whether it was through painting or exercise or dog training or personal training. It was so many things that he did, um, that whether he knew it or not when he was incarcerated, that was all a part of therapy. And he's bringing all that to the Ronin Project in the sense that he knows through the experience that he's had, these are things and tools that actually helped him, right? So it's not like he's coming at it with, I think this is the idea that I want you to try. It's more like, this is something that I know that helped me, and I believe it's a good chance it can help you too.
David, that is an amazing sentiment. I mean, you're talking about connecting people. You're talking about them understanding each other on a different level. And like, that is the makeup of Ronin Project, right? Like, we all know Jesse from different facets of his life, through different facets of his journey. And we're bringing that all together. Like when Jesse was talking about helping people understand their dogs. Like I met him as a trainer for my dogs, right? I had this beautiful American Bulldog boxer mix who was hard-headed, or I thought she was hard-headed, but then he gave me the language and the tools to connect with her. And now Coco is the most chill dog ever. Like she's the best, but that's what it was. It was that connection. It was diving deeper. And like, I feel like in this, right? Jesse, just bouncing back to you, you would agree that we're trying to take this model of all of us from different backgrounds that know each other and care about this mission and replicate it out in the world, bringing more people in, letting them see that we are not as divided as everything puts it out there for us to believe, that we can come together through things like fitness, through art, through understanding someone else through a life struggle or trauma, and building humanity in that.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, we are very disconnected now,
Yeah.
right? Because if you ask anybody, right, especially mature adults, anywhere from mid-30s and up, right, if they feel like the world is becoming a better place or society as a whole is improving, most of them are going to say no.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of statistics are going to say no. The general census on happiness, on just human beings just being happy with life.
Yeah.
And just wanting and enjoying the life that they're living. It's right. It's horrible. So we are disconnected, and that's the reason I believe that everybody is so unhappy, and that the world isn't becoming better. The world isn't becoming safer. Why is it that kids are becoming more dangerous? Really? Right? We're separating ourselves more and more and more and more, but kids are becoming more and more dangerous. Like the little children are dangerous. They're lethal.
Yeah.
They're like in some cities, their kids actually kill people as a sport.
Mm.
That's the world that we're living in now. Like that's a real thing. So most people would agree that it's not getting better, but people don't really work towards a collective goal anymore. Or if you think about some of the most prosperous times in all of human history, human beings were working towards a collective goal, right?
Right.
Now, usually it's on the backs of someone else, but those days are over with. It doesn't have to be like that for us to be connected, for us to interact with one another, right?
Right.
Loneliness. Human beings were not built to be alone or to be isolated. You can look. There are so many studies on the effects of isolation, specifically solitary confinement, and what it does to the mental aspect. But you know what? You talk to therapists, the psychiatrists. One of the key things in depression, right, and PTSD symptoms is being in a room full of people and feeling completely alone, feeling completely isolated.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so prevalent? Nobody can go to anybody, right? Like I used to come and hang out with David, and David doesn't know this even to this day. I would come and hang out with David sometimes when I was a teenager, and I wouldn't talk to him about anything that was going on in my life. And I would just hang out with him. Just because being around him made me feel better.
Right.
Can you name somebody like that? A lot of us can name somebody like that, but why is it like, oh, I got one person?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Yeah, it should be so like right.
You
It
see
should be
that?
one person. It should
Right.
not be one person.
And then when
Right.
that one person's gone, then what?
I mean, passing it to you, David, do you agree that it takes us just taking a chance on somebody, right? Like offering that genuine gesture of sincerity is something Ronin Project is trying to put out there, right? It isn't pay it forward so much as it is just be there for that person in that moment, be present with them, see them for where they are right now, not for who they could possibly be in the future, like work with them where they are. Um,
Definitely. And like Jesse was talking about with the disconnect with everybody. Think about the way that he was able to connect us, all strangers, and now we're
right,
all like uh, tunnel vision. Or he got us all on a mission. All these people that don't even know each other. He got us
right,
all on one positive mission. That's what positivity will do, right? It'll bring people together, right? None of us knew each other. We just all
right,
knew Jesse, right? But we understood and knew the assignment and knew what uh, positivity looked like, right? We were like, oh no, that sounds like a beautiful idea. And we all started working from there, and just in that sense, that connected all of us.
right. Absolutely. So guys, we're wrapping up here. We're trying to really give people the image of what Ronin Project could be, how it can enhance someone's life and meet them where they are, right? So what's next? What are the next steps? How are we establishing this movement, this mission of humanity and connectivity and honesty and sincerity with Ronin Project?
Mm, I'm glad you asked that question. So, just like when we infants, man, we learn to crawl before we learn to walk, right? It all starts with baby steps. So one of the first initiatives I would like to see is I've been talking with David about this. Is I'm trying to get a group of fitness instructors and fitness enthusiasts, just people who like to work out, and I want them all to just be like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm signing up on this thing. I'm at the gym. Maybe you don't want to talk about whatever you're going through, but you know what? Maybe you want to come and meet me at the gym, and you just have somebody here, right? And I'm gonna push you. Tell me what you want to do. What we working on today? Maybe we doing bench, right? Don't worry about whatever it is. Let's get to it. Let's grind. Let's focus on this. Let's leave all that crap at the door and let's focus on this right now. And I'm here with you. Whatever it is, it don't matter. I'm here with you. Let's get to this.
Right.
Right? So that
Yeah.
would, I feel like that would be like, that's small. Think about how insignificant that is to just be there with somebody in a workout. Maybe they just lost a loved one. They
Right.
don't want to talk about it. They don't want your sympathy, right? They don't want to cry. They're not, they don't, they don't want that. That's not always what people need,
Right.
right? They don't always need a sympathetic ear or some food, right? Maybe they just need somebody to be like, "Yo, man, shut up and squat, man. Who said this? Get down there. Let's go."
Yeah. Remind them of their being capable. Remind them that they can still do in the face of that thing that they think is holding them back. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because our will needs to be fed too. We
Yeah.
feed our minds, right? We feed our intellect. We feed our stomachs. We nourish our bodies. But our will and our soul, man, that needs to be fed too. And the only thing that can feed that is human connection. That's the first step. After that, I want to work on a career cultivation. Right? These are all small things. Career cultivation is, it's not necessarily an apprenticeship program, but an opportunity to seek information. So I want to put together an initiative where individuals who actually care about humanity and seeing humanity prosper, right? They'll give information, answer questions, right? Or we can help provide resources to get these certifications to be able to do these things.
Next, what do you want to see happening and growing with Ronin Project?
Well, the main thing, like Jesse said, that I'm the main kind of focus on is trying to see if we can get the fitness um, situation started with the trainers and seeing about us being able to volunteer and help people as needed. So that itself is going to be a project because, like Jesse said, man, I got to make sure I find the right people and people that are interested in trying to do the right thing, which is not the easiest thing in today's society, but
Right.
it is worth definitely doing.
Absolutely. 100%. Like-minded people find like-minded people, and we let kindness and sincerity and truth do the rest, right?
Exactly.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining me today. It was a pleasure speaking to you about the Ronin Project. It's a organization I'm proud to be a part of, and we're going to make it happen.
Hey, so in closing, I'd like to say peace and perseverance to the audience. Jesse, you got something to say?
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I appreciate everybody for listening and keep fighting. If you need help, go get it. It's out there.
Thank you for joining me as I spoke with Jesse Purcell and David McGee about Ronin Project. For more information and to stay connected, visit our website at www.roninproject.org. Stay tuned for the Ronin Project podcast miniseries, Real Talk, The Realities of Our Justice System, where we go into a deep dive about the experiences of those behind bars and those making the decisions about their lives.